Welcome to MedLove. This will be hosted by our own beautiful Miss Surabhi Kanal. Being a college student is tough. Then to be engaged in extracurricular activities such as TV hostess is tougher. We appreciate Miss Kanal's dedication, time and her service to the community. Let's see her guest of honor today. And this morning, I must say she's rather interesting, an interesting personality. Let's meet her.
This is MedLove, here with your monthly talks at Global Television Network. Welcome to all of you in the United States and around the world. I'm your hostess, Surabhi Kanal. Here on the show today, we have a very special guest, Mr. Marcus Bengzon from Herndon High School. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. My name is Marcus Bengzon. I'm the president of the Robotics Club at Herndon High School and also the president of the National English Honor Society. Full disclaimer, I don't know too much about sexual trafficking, but what I do have is a passion for understanding why bad things happen, and that's really the most important part about it, I feel.
Well, thank you for joining us, Mr. Marcus. So he will be speaking to us about cyber trafficking and how the internet takes a role in human trafficking and how teens are not aware of this but are very familiar with the internet. So it's very important to be educated about how the internet takes a role in such atrocities. So what is cyber trafficking?
Well, cyber trafficking is where people use the internet for nefarious purposes, right? They take advantage of vulnerable and innocent people and use them and sell them to people across the world, from Hawaii to Southeast Asia and to Europe, and they perform sexual acts in return for money.
So you can definitely see how this is related to human trafficking. However, it is on the screen and it is digital. So it is coming to the point where laws aren't catching up to the internet and the technologies that are happening today. Therefore, the criminals are looking for other ways to evade the law, and we need to stop it. Now, as the other side of human trafficking, how the internet takes a role, would you say social media has a role in cyber trafficking?
Oh, absolutely. I think nowadays the most important thing for young people is fame, right? The easy access to the media and to the internet allows kids from ages like to 5 years old, they just go online and think that they can do whatever they want. They have free roam on this internet, and that gets the word out, right? There are so many people who are innocent and vulnerable on these social media sites, and then there are the sharks and the people who take advantage of that and will send these kids out into the world with very negative consequences that last forever.
Now, speaking of kids, we all know that both boys and girls can be victimized. However, usually in cases like these, most girls are victimized, and we do have to look on the other side. So how do you think the men population or the male population can contribute to empowering girls in their community or feeling that sense of protection to their female friends?
Right. The root cause of this problem, I feel, is that men are unhappy with their lives, right? We all have our own needs and sexual urges, and that's not inherently wrong. It would be naive to think so. But what makes a man is being able to control those urges and those needs, and being able to stop and say, hey, this isn't right, this isn't okay. Right? I'm sure that there are people out there who understand that this is a wrong act, but they don't have the boundaries. They can't stop themselves because they think that the only way to curb their needs and their desires is through radical acts of tyranny on young women, and that's just completely wrong. And it's become a part of our society and culture that you're not man enough until you can exert your own power, your own dominance. That's not the case. What makes you a man is being able to stand up for what you believe in and for what's right, and that does not mean taking advantage or control of other people. I think the sooner we can address that problem and understand that it's a cultural thing about people and not about throwing money or funneling funds from the government into technology and laws, right? That's not the base of it. The base of it is being able to pinpoint the target, which are people.
And speaking of the target, what would you say are some characteristics that makes a good man a good man?
I think being able to find the balance between not being able to take control of a situation and not being able to understand your own circumstances and rise above it. And on the other side of that, it's someone who thinks that they can control whatever they want. The internet also creates this virtual reality in which people think that there are no repercussions because it's not tangible. It's not an immediate consequence of what you're doing. But in fact, it has a lasting consequence on everyone. And it kind of creates a sense of false security that your actions have no consequences when really that's not the case at all. which is why the internet is also so dangerous.
That's right. So hearing Marcus speak here today definitely makes me feel that there is hope out there. And how the male population can contribute is basically just being a friend instead of a foe, and just not being that dominant individual, obviously. So thank you, Marcus, for sharing your words of wisdom. One more thing. What do you think that you can do, or like educate young people, as we are young people ourselves? What can the male population do in schools or in events to contribute to the anti-trafficking efforts?
Right. The most important question you can ask yourselves is why? Why is it that you act this way? Why is it that we have these urges? Why is it that all these terrible things happen around you? Because we hear all these terrible things that happen, but it doesn't register, we can't comprehend it because we've never lived it. If you can look past the facts, if you can look past the surface level and think about why these bad things happen, then you can understand the solutions towards it. And then that's how people get creative. That's when you can become imaginative and start your own organizations, or you can start your own TV show, or that kind of stuff.
Well, thank you. I'm sure many boys, girls, and teenagers are out there listening to these words, because it's very important, and prevention is definitely better than cure, so let's stop it before it happens. This is Sarabi Kanal. Don't forget to respect those ladies. Signing off. Thank you.